both my grandparents made a lot of money, but towards the end of their life, the thing that they cared about the most, when they couldn't travel anymore, when they weren't the socialites that they grew up to be, they cared about their children and their grandchildren, calling them and checking and see how they were. When my grandmother was bedridden and she used to be the social butterfly, she used to have friends over, she used to be a chef, she used to travel, she was a socialite. And then when she was on a respirator and she couldn't move and she had arthritis, she was like, have my grandchildren call me. That was the most important thing. So if you don't have offspring, and I know a lot of people who can't have children and they marry people with children so they can fill that role in someone's life because that's something they're longing for. So I think it should be a conversation that you should have between you and the person that you're interested in if they have children, because it is something to take on the role of a father or a mother in someone else's life. And I don't there's a book I'm reading about blended families, and it's really important to understand the different dynamics of it. So I definitely think there should be a conversation, because I don't think that children should feel like they're unwanted or unloved just because a person enters their life. It should be a conversation. It shouldn't be like, oh, it's about money. If you really love that woman and you really love their children, it's a no-brainer. It's not even a difficult decision.
I think that we're painting this picture that all kids are bad. Some kids have very good relationships
Right.
with the father, the man in the house.
Apparently.
You know, so
Right.
with that being said, you have to figure out how your household is ran. And I hope that you want to be the man of everybody in your house, including the kids. And again, if you do right by those kids, if that kid has that ability, they will do right by you. Think about how many people who make it and they shout out their stepfathers. You know what I'm saying? That man wasn't there for me. I've heard that before.
It's
You
you
know,
fathers raising these children and biological
I don't know who.
and by all means,
Yeah,
I'm not
Mia.
saying this is a perfect situation. I'm not saying, oh, drop a girl who ain't got kids for a woman who. I'm just saying, if you find yourself in this situation, do right by the. Even if you don't adopt the kid, do right by the kid, and then you will see. It may be a situation where something amazing comes out of it, and that kid respects you, and you don't even understand how you've touched that child's life. I think we're so selfish in the way we do things. It's about me. Oh, my finances. Oh, money can't love you back. That money ain't gonna mean nothing when you in that grave.
Wait, Shan.
I agree.
You can't just say that and then the previous statement go.
I
Is
said
that
what
financially
finds women to
attractive?
be okay. I said, you see, if y'all listening, I said what women are attracted to. What does attraction have to do with
No, Shan. You just said that money don't mean anything, but in the same breath,
when
just
you
the last
when
conversation.
you get older. Listen, I clearly look. What
It's all
part?
good. It's all good.
I said economically attractive, competitive. It is something about a man who takes charge that it's attractive. It just is.
Can I say something?
So, and I clearly said you don't have to make 100,000, but when it comes to children, do you think your kid cares about you making money? No,
The mama do. The mama does. The mom does.
We're not talking about the mom. We're talking about
Shan,
the child.
The kids care about how much money you're making.
Can I say something? I agree with Shan. Can you hear me okay?
It matters.
I agree with Shan, because
I
both of my grandparents made a lot of money, but towards the end of their life, the thing that they cared about the most, when they couldn't travel anymore, when they weren't the socialites that they grew up to be, they cared about their children and their grandchildren, calling them and checking and see how they were. When my grandmother was bedridden and she used to be the social butterfly, she used to have friends over, she used to be a chef, she used to travel, she was a socialite. And then when she was on a respirator and she couldn't move and she had arthritis, she was like, have my grandchildren call me. That was the most important thing. So if you don't have offspring, and I know a lot of people who can't have children and they marry people with children so they can fill that role in someone's life because that's something they're longing for. So I think it should be a conversation that you should have between you and the person that you're interested in if they have children, because it is something to take on the role of a father or a mother in someone else's life. And there's a book I'm reading about blended families, and it's really important to understand the different dynamics of it. So I definitely think there should be a conversation, because I don't think that children should feel like they're unwanted or unloved just because a person enters their life. It should be a conversation. It shouldn't be like, oh, it's about money. If you really love that woman and you really love their children, it's a no-brainer. It's not even a difficult decision.
No, actually, it does make sense. But if man over here doesn't want a woman with kids and doesn't want kids, then it just is what it is.
Oh, for sure. We're not saying you should choose a woman with kids. We're saying if you find yourself in that situation.
I'm not gonna lie, that is a big topic where women have kids just so somebody can take care of them, especially their sons.
It's very
Well,
son
of
husband thing
course,
is
you
real.
want to vet the woman. Like, come on, we're just talking about in general. We're not talking about trifling women because we got trifling people everywhere. Just we're talking about
Indeed.
if you find you a good woman, she means well by you. She's doing everything that you could possibly ask, and she's a good woman to you. And she just has a child, and that child is respectful to you, and she allows you to discipline that child, and that child is great. I'm not saying to do it immediately. If that child grows up and you've had that child since he was 2 and he's now 12, 13, and he doesn't have a father, it's
But
okay. Like,
Shan,
Adoption is just a foreign house.
those services are not free.
Shan, listen, you know why I really like you, Shan, is because a lot of times when you all were doing She Critique, I seen that you had like a similar spirit of feminism, like Lady Mogalette, but you still had the the capability of being rational. Now let's just look at the numbers, right? There's a high percentage of Black women who have children, right?
Mhm.
What percentage of those women have multiple children? Then what percentage of those women have multiple children by multiple men with all of the protection there is for women to prevent pregnancy? I've been around 45 years. I think maybe once in my lifetime I had a woman say, let's use this female condom. I know young girls that don't even know female condoms exist. I got a lot of nieces, right?
Never in my
So
life
that's
heard
what
of
I'm saying. Like, we got to be honest about, the psychological reason behind women having kids, continuously having kids. I know a chick, and I know this is anecdotal, but I think it's probably more of a percentage than we are actually want to acknowledge. It may be small, like 20 to 25, but I know a chick who all of her kids are disabled. It's obvious that it's on her side of the fence, but she kept having kids. Ended up with 6 kids. Why would you do that? You slow. Now you keep creating these kids with learning
And they slow.
disabilities.
You and they kids slow.
Listen,
Well,
shut up.
that answers the question. That's
She's not catching
fine.
on. She's so. But look, check this out.
So we won't be making excuses.
Little podcast. Little podcast. That is a totally different conversation, and you're absolutely right. And I'm not taking anything away from what you just brought up, which should be its own title. But all I'm saying is, just don't. If you have a problem with single moms, don't even entertain them. Why are you wasting your time on a woman you don't even see serious? Don't even entertain them. Why talk about it? Just don't. Just say that you're not where I need you to be.
There's a good reason for this, right? Because sometimes single moms look like you. Sometimes single moms look like Lady. Let me let you in on a little secret.
You gotta say no. You gotta walk away.
Let me let you in on a little secret that you probably didn't know, right? When a woman looks amazing, right? Very few men are going to be able to say no to that, right? Because looks matter. You know how we know looks matter? Because when you all buy clothes, you go into the store, you try on everything you buy, you turn around, you make sure it looks exactly how you want it to look on your butt, you make sure it looks exactly how you want it to look on your back. You go through all of this to make sure every part of you looks so amazing. You cut off eyebrows, you draw some more, you put in some weave, you cut out some weave, you do all of this stuff, and then we act like we don't understand why men are going crazy, or why they have a hard time saying no, or why they will take a chance on a woman with kids. Look, we have a high expectation from our women. The Bible talks about, and I'm not even a religious person, but the Bible talks about a woman being a man's muse, right? So women are very inspirational to us. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why it's like you want things to be different. When I first had my first baby mama, my boy told me every single thing I was gonna go through. I was like, man, that's just you. I ain't gonna go through that. Boy, everything he said, right? Because there's some dynamics that you just can't avoid. And I think looks is one of those things. If you look amazing, we're gonna look past them kids sometimes, just hoping that it'll be different.
So my question is, if you said that men have high expectations of the women, my question to you is, as a man, who you didn't, if you didn't want kids, why wouldn't you have high expectations for yourself first and foremost, so you won't put yourself in a position to fall victim to being a parent of a child that you didn't want? Because you
You
have
mean your own child, or you talking about step parenting?
Stepping.
step parent.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was just saying. Like you will look at it and you just hope that it's different because you're looking at this woman. You may see something in this woman that she might not even be able to see in herself. I can use my own situation. Man, my lady was a whole thug out in these Chicago streets. Okay. Like for real, for real. She got 2 sons, right? But we've been together for 10 years, 12 years, however long it's been, I can't remember. And at the end of the day, guess what? Now, way more soft, way more feminine, way more concerned about her boys' adult life than just trying to be their friends, right? She got rid of the weave. She got the sister locks. She don't wear makeup. She don't have to wear tight stuff every single day, even though she still wear the leggings, which I hate, right? But I'm saying, like, I had to go through a grooming process to get her to where she is now, and I still got work to do. But that's what we do. Either way it go, whether we get with a woman with no kids or a woman with kids, there's going to be a sort of grooming process to get that woman to be who you want her to be for you, right? It's going to be a molding process. The thing about the kids is, it's not, I'm not speaking for the majority of men. I'm saying there are some men who we look at the kids and we don't automatically see them as a burden. It's about their behavior. It's about whether the baby dad is going to be drama. It's about whether or not you got a handle on parenting. A lot of mothers don't. A lot of mothers turning their sons into son husbands, right? A lot of these mothers put their kids before they man. That becomes a problem. But those are things that so often we would overlook. Now we have voices in this particular space that are saying, fellas, don't overlook it, right? And I'm not mad at them. I don't try to silence them. I get why they say that, right? But I'm just saying, because I had a stepdad, for me, I just have more of an appreciation for the job itself.